Okay, we are recording now. So we have to start with charity in the modes, right? I remember we did the food, the sacrifices, austerity of the body, of the mind, and of the speech, and now the charity. I'm almost finishing the chapter. So charity is also in the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And each of them have sub qualities, like what defines whether this is a charity in the mode of goodness, charity in the mode of passion, or charity in the mode of ignorance. So charity in the mode of goodness has three qualities. It's out of duty, without expectation of results, at a proper four qualities, proper time and place, and is given to a worthy person. So if next time we give charity, consider these four factors. Is it out of duty or obligation? Okay. And is it given to a worthy person? Is it given at proper time and place, like today is a nice day? Or is it given without expectation of return, or am I expecting some sort of return? That is charity in the mode of goodness. So as a duty given out without expectation, proper time and place to a worthy person. Now, charity in the mode of passion. Charity in the mode of passion is also consists of sub qualities. It is given out of expectation of some return or reciprocation from a person, and it is given at improper time and to undeserving. No. It is given with a desire for fruitive results, and it is in a grudging mood or unwillingly. Okay, so charity performed with expectation of some return, with desire for fruitive activities, grudging mood, or unwillingly. I think we discussed this, that okay, I'm going to do this so I can get some return. It's not necessarily a monetary return or return in the form of the gross assets, but some subtle, maybe in this photo, as it is shown that the person is looking for name and fame. Now, the other consideration is to say, okay, we are not doing it, but the others will make us famous. So that is also because of our own desire. It has also more of passion that other people are making need someone famous because they did help, really helped out this person's. Is also a subtle expression of the mode of passion, that because I wanted it, so I have to get it. Okay, so am I giving it in this kind of a charity, in this kind of a thing? Then I am infected by mode of passion. Simple. So expectation of some return, desire for fruitive activities, grudging mood, or unwillingly. Grudging mood, I think we discussed, right? That I give it and then later I grudge that why did I do so much? I could have done less. It didn't need to be like so elaborate. Unwillingly is like out of force. Like I have seen it sometimes or heard, like in India, in uh, marriages, when the charity is given, it is like unwillingly. So we don't want to do. So it's not a good start for somebody's life. Okay, and charity in the mode of ignorance, adesha kale yad danam apatrabhyascha diyate asat kritam avagyatam tat tamasam ugavritam. So what are the four things? Improper place, adeshe. Desha means place, adeshe means improper place. And kale, adeshe kale means improper time. So that dan, that charity, which is given at improper place and improper time, apatrebhyascha diyate, to an undeserving person. Asat, asat means temporary. Okay, avagyatam means disregard. Asat kritam avagyatam means that we are without the knowledge of the scriptures, without any proper consideration. That tamisam udahritam, that charity. Udahritam means charity. That charity is in the mode of ignorance. So what is it? Improper place, improper time, without the knowledge of the scriptures, to an undeserving person is in the mode of ignorance. So they're asking for help. They're honest, but they're asking for help for smoking weed. Improper place, improper time, unworthy person, no proper attention, no proper respect. Don't do that charity. Okay. because if somebody is hovering on the mental platform, then there will be an inclination to give this kind of a charity. But if somebody, a material world is very confusing, because I'll give you an example how do you say it, because things are not so straightforward. Like, for example, people who are in drug rehab, like they're trying to get out of the drug addiction and they are in rehab, they are put on other narcotics orally to help them fight the urge to seek the drug that they were addicted to. So what do? You give charity so that the government can buy that narcotic to give to this person? Is what charity is that? Goodness, passion, ignorance. What do you do? So it's the material world is like very, very, because why is it like that? Why do we come up with the problem or solution which has no clear cut, which is not a clear cut solution, but there's always like haziness of confusion? What makes us do that? Tell me. The next time we make our decision, just introspect and see that am I actually. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj said that when you think through something, think through it completely from beginning to end. Just think through everything. I'm going to do this. So completely, like, what are going to be the possible consequences? So why can't we do that? In billions and billions of dollars are spent all over the world to fight that addiction. I was thinking, what is that? Goodness, passion, ignorance. What is that? You want a person to leave one drug, but then you put them in another narcotic. And it's not so simple. But oh my God, I have the privilege of seeing it. There's some mothers who give birth who are in this rehab program and taking narcotics. We have to monitor the baby who's born, because the narcotic can cross the placenta and get in the body of the fetus and cause, withdrawal symptoms in the baby also. So what is that? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Or more than that, why do we make such choices, which is not so clear cut? Are, talk to me.
Hare Krishna Mataji, because we're influenced by others. Generally people do what others are doing. Okay, everybody is doing it, so let me also do. Like, for instance, you were discussing about the wedding. So even there, the whole group discusses, what do we do? Do we give a collective gift, or how much is the other person giving? They'll somehow find out. And if it is 1,000, and we'll have to match up to that. If it is 5,000, then we have to match up. Usually what it's like, we just follow the crowd most of the time. That's where mistakes happen. We're not taking proper guidance.
Very nice. Thank you. Why do we do this? What forces us?
Acceptance from others. We want to belong, we want to belong in that group somehow or the other, fit into that.
Interesting. I think it's a mode of passion and ignorance are very contaminating, are very forcing. And we can't actually see. It's like cloud, if you've ever like flown in a cloudy weather or drove in or on the road, you're in the cloudy weather, you can't see beyond certain point. So it's like, it covers, you can see, but you cannot see beyond certain point. Goodness can clear, is like a little bit of a sunrise, can show. That's also not very liberating. That's why Krishna is going to end the chapter by this conclusion of Om Tat Sat, because he says, okay, I've explained you the non-scriptural following of the activities in terms of sacrifice, charity, austerity, food, but then there are in the mode of passion, ignorance, and there is goodness where there is scriptural following, but then that also is not very liberating. That also is not the conclusion of one's life. So how do we actually get purified? Because they're still in the modes. Then he explains this Om Tat Sat. Krishna only seeking this verse. Understand, more than understanding what the verse is, understand why does he speak that? Because he has explained everything of what Arjun was asking, and he will explain more of the modes and has explained more in the modes previously too. Because the verdict is Om Tat Sat. means that try to become transcendental to all these modes by chanting this syllable, by coming to me. Prabhupada ends the 17th chapter purport by saying that the goal of 17th chapter is to actually directly take to Krishna consciousness without going through the gradual process of elevation. But there are people who can't do it. I've seen it. There are people who can't do it, who can't directly chant Hare Krishna only. So Krishna is kind of adjusting them. We can say, or maybe we are like that. Can't directly chant Hare Krishna only. There's got to be something else too. So Krishna is saying, from the beginning of creation, the three syllables Om Tat Sat have been used to indicate the supreme absolute truth Brahman. They were uttered by Brahmanas while chanting Vedic hymns and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So Om Tat Sat is like defines the beginning of activity, the performance of activity, and the conclusion of the activity. So that's what it is. So the beginning of activity is always with Om. Transcendentalists undertake sacrifice, charity, penance, beginning always with Om to attain the Supreme. Om iti etad brahmano nidishtam nama indicate first goal. Om means Vishnu, placed at the beginning of Vedic hymns to indicate the Supreme. Like there's this very famous Rig Ved mantra, right? Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. So, and Om is in the beginning of all the Vedic mantras, whether somebody is in Hare Krishna movement or not, all of them. Why? Because it indicates that this activity is intended to attain the Supreme. So, and now the next thing is when activity has begun, we are performing an activity. So the performance of activity, one should perform sacrifice, penance, charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from the material entanglement. Tat Tvam Ashi or Tat describe detached work for the sake of liberation. These activities are done with disregard for material results. So Tat word indicate when the Brahmanas are performing Vedic sacrifices and they are saying Om Tat Sat, it indicates that beginning, performance, and conclusion is for Krishna, and it is not for some material results or even for the sake of attaining liberation from this material world. And absolute truth is the objective of devotional service, as indicated by the word Sat. Sacrifice, charity, penance, true to absolute nature are performed to please the Supreme Person or Son of Pritha. So Prabhupada gives references, Sad Eva Samya. Sat means eternal. Activities done for the service of the Lord reveal true spiritual nature. Okay, so what happens if the activities are done to reveal the true spiritual nature? Three things happen. Performance becomes transcendental or eternal. Activity becomes transcendental or eternal, and the benefits are eternal. But if it is not done like that, then what? So if it is done, started for Krishna, done for Krishna, concluded for Krishna, then the person who's doing is eternal, activity is eternal, and the benefit is eternal. But if it is not done like that, like we just finished Navratri, right? One can keep Navratri fast if one is very attached, that's fine. But then what is the goal? What is the real goal? To get liberation, to get some sort of um, problem solving in life, in the material world, that is more important. So we can make every activity Krishna conscious by changing our intention behind it. So the intention is more important. I gave this reference from Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Is a very big purport. Prabhupada gives in Adi Leela 7 chapter verse 128 what is really the meaning of the word Om. Actually, the transcendental sound Omkar, although a combination of three words A, U, Ma has transcendental potency, and one who chants Omkar will very soon realize Omkar and Lord Vishnu to be non-different. So, what is Om? This is Ramananda Rai, who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his combination of Radha Krishna form to him. So, A karane uchyate Krishna, sarva loke nayakaha. You karete uchyate Radha, ma karo jiva vachakaha. So, Om is combination of A, U, Ma. So, A karane uchyate Krishna. The letter A kara refers to Krishna, who is Sarva Loka Nayaka, the master of all living entities and planets, material and spiritual. U kara indicates Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Krishna. U kara uchyate Radha. And ma in Om is indicates ma karo jiva vachikaha, indicate the living entities, jivas. And you can read this particular purport. It's still very complicating to me to understand, but try to read that where these meaning of the word Om is explained. So Krishna is saying, if you don't do it for me, then what? There are three things, right? The activity, the performer, and the result. Then what happens? Austerity, charities performed without faith in Supreme are non-permanent. Yeah, asat. Right? The word is ashraddhaya hutam datam. If you do this, ashraddhaya. Tapas taptkam kritam chayat. Asad iti uchate partha. Osana pritha. Regardless of whatever rites are performed. They're called asat. They're useless both in this life and the next. So when Krishna declares that they're useless both in this life and next, what does it really mean? Because we have been understanding that if I do some charity, according to the scriptural injunctions, I have a chance of elevating myself to higher planetary system. At least people in mode of passion do that. But Krishna is saying they're useless both in this life and next. Why are they useless? Because they're not permanent. The performer will die, the activity result will be done. It's not permanent. And the conclusion is not permanent. So it's a very strong statement. It's a very revolutionary statement because if we actually read the Vedic literature, it encourages, right? Which is that second canto Srimad Bhagavatam describes the polytheism. Like polytheism, like it describes, Brahma is describing, I think is it Brahma speaking? I don't remember the verse. The huge, very long translation that if somebody wants good health, they should worship sun god. If somebody wants good wife, worship Uma. If somebody wants uh, good riches, worship this. Somebody wants good son, worship this. Like that, there's a huge list. And Krishna is saying useless, both in this life and the next. Not easy. It's not easy because when somebody is in a problem and you tell them the solution, they jump to it without introspecting, without thinking that what am I going to do? We have a tendency to do that. So actually, it is a chance because even in Krishna conscious practice, we are somewhere or other impersonalist. So figure out that where is my bhakti impersonalist, or where is my faith still weak. My Gurumaj was saying the other day that sometimes he said sometimes he hears people saying that why does this keep happening to me again and again, again and again, again and again? Why does the same thing keeps happening? Same kind of cycle repeats. Gurumaj said because it's Maya knows you're weakest there. So she keeps attacking there again and again because you're weakest over there. There's a chance to know that my faith is needing attention and strengthening in that area. Okay, I think we finished the chapter. So we studied modes determine one's activity, faith, and worship. Arjun asked this question. So foods in the mode, sacrifices in the mode, austerity in the mode, charity in the mode, and conclusion, Om Tat Sat. Beyond that, I think we had a good discussion last week when I said, why do we have to even understand all this? And all of you are going to make a workshop, right? I have a note. So all of you are making workshop on what mode. Like I remember Rupa Mataji on boundaries. That's a good one, huh, Rupa Mataji? Oh, you make a workshop on boundaries depending on how the modes help us define the boundaries. Because actually, if you read, it's a very hot topic, the boundaries. And there's so many workshops available, so many things, but you do it from Bhagavad Gita. How does Bhagavad Gita help us define boundaries? And so many management. I think Nikhil Rabu said management. Anvaya Mataji said about food, like what am I like? What are my choices in life? What am I doing? If I'm sluggish, I have to go back and look at my food. It's ringing in my head for a whole week. So make it. And Leonard Prabhu said what? Decision, right? Decision. What decisions? How does How does being in different modes help us to make decisions in what context? Very good topic, huh? Very, very good topic. So my class can actually go to another classes and teach this. Why don't we do it? What is the problem? Why can't you make a workshop? No, no, I'm asking. You don't have to keep mute.
He will do, Mataji. He
So
will follow our
okay.
Guru Agya.
No, no, Guru. No. But you do it. Now then what we'll do is my vision is that we'll go to other classes and people want it, and we want it too. And then we'll teach that what are the different how are these modes, because then the superficial reading actually becomes more intensified and it stays in the heart, right, if you apply it. So any questions, reflection, realization, or correction? Otherwise, we can do guilt a little bit and then call it a day. So you'll do it. Who will take charge of? Who will take charge of? What do you say? Keeping track. Who's doing what? Linit Prabhu.
Mataji, I guess Kirti Mataji is much better at that.
Oh, don't overload one person. She's
Good,
doing so
sure.
much.
Sure.
You are capable. What did she say? What did she say? What was she gonna do? I'll ask her. Maybe I'll go back to my notes. Yeah, do it. By the time we end 18th chapter, it should be ready. Okay. 18th chapter will take, I think, 4 or 5 classes. So a month and a half is good. So team up. Who are there? Linit Prabhu, Anvya Mataji, Rupa Mataji, Nikhil Prabhu, and who else was there? Kirti Mataji. So team up, and then whoever wants to do what, and Linit Prabhu is the charge, and then go from there. And then so we will go. It's not like 1 hour long workshop. No, do like 15-20 minutes of one topic, and then 15-20 minutes of another topic. So like that we can cover. Okay. Yes. Yes or no? Maybe so. What is it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
yes from him, yes from Linit Prabhu. Rupa Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Anvya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I don't know if others were. I don't know if Diti Mataji and Shiva Srinivas Prabhu were there at the time. Include them also if they want to take part, Linit Prabhu.